Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Houston Rockets Daily. My name is Jackson. I post daily Rockets content, so hit that like button, hit that sub button if you guys enjoy it. Try and get to 75 likes in today's video. That would be absolutely awesome. Trying to hit 3,000 subscribers by the start of the season, but the start of the season's a week away, and that's actually why we're making a video today. I want to talk a little bit more about the center position because the Houston Rockets played 3 preseason games thus far. We have one more, I believe. What day is it? Wednesday, October 12th. I believe our last game is against Indiana on Friday. So I don't know if you guys agree with me. I'm so sick of this. I'm not sick of watching the Houston Rockets. I'm not even necessarily sick of watching preseason or we're just watching basketball live right now. I just can't wait for the regular season. Like, this is cool and all. This is just a nice little teaser. But especially when I watch a Houston Rockets game, I mean, they've gotten better and better in their first 3 games. I'm amped up. But we have 5 centers. All right. Now, I'm not even going to talk about Alperen Sengun here because he was, as a lot of you guys alluded to in the comment section on my video yesterday, Sengun might not be the best center for a Jalen Green, KPJ backcourt. However, if we fast forward or run the tape back 1 month ago, KPJ's future was kind of even questioned for a lot of fans. So I don't want to speculate on Sengun's future. Like, he's going to be our starting center. He's making the team. Next up, we have Bruno Fernando, Usman Garuba, Boban, and Derek Favors. Technically, we also have Willie Cauley-Stein, but he will be joining the G League team, which kind of is crazy to me. I think Willie's a really suitable player. I mean, if we didn't have 4 other backup centers to Sengun, I'd be totally fine with running Willie Cauley-Stein, but we have 4 centers ahead of him. And I'm still very big on Bruno and Usman Garuba's long-term ability. That's really what I want to dial home today. But before we get any further, I want to say shout out to everybody who's dropping love in the comment section. But a lot of people have been DMing me saying, oh, I'm going to the game. Let's get a beer. Let me know if you need anything in Houston. Like, shout out to the guy who's the reason this is happening, but also shout out to all you guys because, I haven't even got to Houston yet and I already feel at home. So I can't wait to meet a lot of you guys. And if you see me, come say what's good. Let's chug a beer or something, or, eat a hot dog. I don't really know. I don't really care. Let's do our thing. Now, my thing is this. Usman probably lost his, I don't know if necessarily he had the backup center role. The thing with Usman Garuba is he still looks very raw. Now, especially in that last game, I think offensively speaking, he looked a lot more improved. Now, Bruno has a little bit more high upside, and that's kind of what we've seen with Bruno and Usman Garuba when they're in. We see a lot of lobs. We see a lot of almost, not necessarily bully ball, but the reason a lot of people are talking about Sengun's future with the Rockets is because, Sengun is such a skilled passer and he's so crafty. He's so creative where you want to run your offense through him. You want him to be an integral part of your offense. The issue with that, not even the issue with that, the counter to it is having guys like Bruno Fernando, Usman Garuba, you see it with KJ Martin Jr. It's not just the centers, but having rim runners and having these great cutters on your basketball team. We've seen several lobs, or at least attempted lobs, with both Bruno and Usman Garuba whenever they're in these preseason games. So personally, what I think is going to go down is I think this is exactly what's going to happen. You're going to run with Sengun. Sengun hopefully will get at least 25 a night. Bruno Fernando, going from a 2-way contract, what he's been able to do has been super impressive. And it's not like he's the youngest guy out there, but he looks, he's a workhorse. He's dedicated. He is steadily improving. He might be our starting backup center to run with this upcoming season. I think Usman might be down at the G League. We'll see who they decide to keep on the roster, though. We don't even know right now if Garrison Matthews is making this team, if Daishen Nix is making this team. Those are also 2 big question marks, because that's going to free up more roster spots. But, the Houston Rockets, they have a lot of guys that they need to figure out. What I think is going down right now is I think you're going to keep Boban. I don't really see all the positives. I also don't see all the negatives with keeping Boban. If the Rockets want to keep Boban, word. That works for me. If they want to get rid of him, word, that works for me. Derek Favors, my guess is Rafael Stone's trying to cook up a trade. Because I love Derek Favors, and he's definitely our most reliable. I mean, if you go through all 5 of our centers, Derek Favors is the most reliable guy right there. Like, if you were playing to win basketball games right now, Derek Favors might even start. No disrespect to Şengün. He's just, legally he can't even drink. Foul issues, he's still very, very raw. We still don't really have him defensively where we want him to be defensively as far as aggressiveness goes. Derek Favors is a really valuable piece, but he doesn't have a future on Houston, and neither does Boban. It just seems like they're loving Boban. Boban also just brings in a bunch of money. My counter to that is, winning also brings in a lot of money, so I'm not a huge fan of the revenue purpose for keeping Boban, but vibe-wise, energy-wise, everybody loves Boban, as everybody should, so I'm a little bit more lenient towards him, but we can't have both. We can't have both. I don't want 5 centers on this roster. It doesn't make any sense. I also don't really necessarily want to see Usman Garuba down in the G League. I'd rather give him at least 10 to 15 minutes a night than have him down at the G League. But if you're not playing Usman Garuba 10 to 15 minutes, and 10's being honestly kind of more on the generous side, if Usman's not getting somewhere between those minutes, if he's not seeing minutes, he should be in the G League. Needs reps. Your young guys need reps. So these are the decisions that Rafael Stone, Stephen Silas, and the rest of the Houston Rockets coaching staff and management, that's what they're looking at right now. And it goes even deeper than just these 5 guys right here. It gets as deep as, all right, Garrison Matthews, does he have a spot on this team long term? Daishen Nix, is he making our roster? Is Ty Ty Washington Jr. actually going to be our backup point guard? There's a lot of things that go into this, so that's why these games actually matter a lot. Now, something just caught my eye. Oh, okay. I'm reading an article on The Athletic, and I saw one of the lines was with Willie Cauley-Stein first in line, but they were talking about the G League team. So I think they'll keep 4 centers on this roster for this upcoming season, and it'll be interesting, but I like all 4 of them. Şengün, love Şengün. Bruno, very excited to see what he can do for us again. Usman Garuba, long-term. Usman's a long-term piece. He's a guy who can guard 1 through 5 right now, but offensively he has limitations. He can't really score much. He's pretty solid at alley-oops, it appears to be, but we need him to get more reps. We need him to just continue to craft his offensive game specifically, because defensively he's there. Usman is, and always has been, and always was going to be, more of a longer term, I hate using the word project, but he was going to be more of a longer term move. So I think they go with those 3 and Boban. And I don't necessarily think Favors is going to get traded, because maybe they're still hearing offers about KJ Martin Jr. However, KJ's looked awesome, first off in his 2 seasons as a Rocket, but he's looked really solid in preseason as well, especially in that game against Toronto, where Eric Gordon didn't start. I believe that was the Toronto game. So a lot of moving parts. I will cover it all, so hit that like button, hit that sub button. That's it for me. Go ahead, drop who you want on, what is your center rotation for this upcoming season? I'll probably go live later tonight. I'll be live in the next 24 hours.